Hey, little sister, what have you done? Hey, little sister, who's the only one? Only, only, only. I let you go for so long, so long. I let you go for so long. It's a nice day for a white wedding. And it's a nice day to start again. Come on, it's a nice day for a white wedding. Is it a nice day for a white wedding? Should we go out and get married, sweetie? You wanna go have a white wedding? Yeah. All right, no show today, you guys. Natasha and I are gonna go get married. Come on, sweetie. Let's shut this down. Nah, let's do the show instead. Okay. Okay. Hey, BOOZHOO. And welcome back to the show. Welcome back to BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language. That's awesome. Yeah. I am NANABOOZHOO. Over here, who else would you want to have a white wedding with? Sweetie. The lovely and the talented Natasha. Ikadon BOOZHOO Weenie Mushane. Say hello to the people. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. And over here, the rock star cartoonist, Michael Lyons. Ikadon BOOZHOO Niji. Say hello, my brother. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. And, yeah, it's another beautiful Thursday morning. Is it a thirsty Thursday, sweetie? Well, I had my coffee, so I'm not too thirsty. Yeah. When I was in college, we weren't talking about coffee. So, how you doing? BOOZHOO. Welcome to the show. Been to gain. Come in, I guess. Do they still have those Ojibwe signage? Why do they use that word? Ojibwe signs all around town? I don't think anyone's taking them down, but I don't even notice them anymore. Yeah. There's in Bemidji a few years ago, they put up Ojibwe signs all around town. So you go into a store, and on one side it'd say, welcome. And the other side it would say, BOOZHOO. And I always thought, that's nice, I guess. At least they're trying, but BOOZHOO doesn't mean welcome, Bemidji. I think they should put up Bindigain. Come in. Enter. Bindigain. That could have been our Ojibwe word, huh? Yeah, we could have done like a welcome to the show or something. Yeah. But, it's kind of a dumb project if you ask me. What's that? The Ojibwe language signs. Because nobody's going to learn how to say a word that's 35 words long that they made up trying to translate an English word into old style Ojibwe. Really? Yeah. Well, here's the deal. I used to work at a school years ago, and they came up to me like, hey, we got this great idea. We got a government grant. We're going to make a bunch of signs that will teach the kids how to say the Ojibwe word for stuff like locker room, multimedia lab, gymnasium. And they came to me like, hey, would you translate this whole list of words for us for free? And I'm like, okay. So I got the list and I Googled the words. Somebody has bothered to translate words like men's locker room, but it's just dumb because we didn't have men's locker room back before the boarding schools, And so I made up this list. I sent it over to Tony Troyer. I'm like, is this right? He goes, yeah, I don't know. Looks pretty good. So passed it along, and then this group made up a bunch of signs, hung them up everywhere. And now you'll have 2 sets of men's locker room and then this 40-letter word that's the Ojibwe translation to computer lab. Oh, what's the Ojibwe word for intersectionality? I stick to the old words. The newest word I care to learn about Ojibwe are things like the days of the week. Ojibwe people didn't have days of the week back in the day. We would have today, tomorrow, yesterday, day after tomorrow, 7 days after tomorrow if you had to. But we didn't say stuff like, oh, it is Sunday. It is Thor's day. This is the day to worship Thor, the god of thunder. I thought Gene Simmons was the god of thunder. Well, he is. Hey, Gene, are you the god of thunder? Oh, yeah! See? Gene Simmons, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, so Gene's the god of thunder, but in the old Scandinavian culture, I guess, that must be where Thursday came from. They say it's Thor's day. But in our language, we call it the fourth day. Neo-Gijagud. Neo-Gijagud. Fourth day, Thursday. And Thursday is the best day of the week. Is it really? Why do you think so? Because it's must-see TV Thursday. Don't forget to tune into tonight's thrilling conclusion to the two-part... what's on Thursday nights? I think what's on Thursday night is Hill Street Blues. Yeah. And Magnum P.I. Right. Because it's 1982. And tonight we're going to watch Hill Street Blues and Magnum P.I. And it's must-see TV on Thursday. I don't care what the news says. I'm sick of it being 2021. I'm going back to 1982. If you could go back, would you? Would I go back to 1982? Yes. Would you go back to being young and dumb? That's a good point. I don't know if I would go back. There's a question for the crew. Let's see who's here. Hey, Kizzy's here. Kizzy's the first in line again, sweetie. Put that gold star on her name. Okay, gold star for Kizzy. Bonjour, Kizzy. Welcome back to the show. She says I made it. Yep. And Jessica Wabooz, the lovely and the talented Jessica. Jessie's here, sweetie. Bonjour, Jessie. And now I wish I had Jessie's girl. I want Jessie's girl. I want Jessie's daughter. Isn't she cute? Yeah. I'm going to adopt, I forget her name. I'm going to adopt your kid, Jessie. Or maybe abduct her. She's just cute. Kizzy Renee is Mino Giga Jabe. Oh, she's saying that to Jessica. That's another Ojibwe word for today, huh? Mino Giga Jabe. Giga Jeb. Did I spell that right? Giga Jeb. Yeah, I think so. Mino Giga Jabe. Good morning. Good morning, Jesus. Good morning, Ajidamu. Because that's our Ojibwe cartoon today. Mino Giga Jabe. Ajidamu. There's a Jesus there. And he's shining. And he says, good morning, squirrel. And then there's a little squirrel here. He says, Mino Giga Jabe, Jesus. Good morning, son. You can talk to the sun, Yeah. Yeah. This would have been a better cartoon on Sunday. Because Sunday is, the day of the sun. Yeah. Mino Giga Jabe. Good morning. Let's see what's going on here. Jesse says they should have used the syllabics for the signs. Makes it a real challenge. For those Ojibwe signs. Just make it even harder. I almost think it intimidates people when they see like how long some of our words are. They go, hikes, I don't want to learn that language. This is why we came up with the boarding schools. Your language is too hard. It's like, nah, it's not that tough. But, the elders, the grandfathers, our ancestors didn't learn it by reading it. They just spoke it, obviously, just like English. So yeah, here's my question. If you could go back to whatever period, would you? Like, I'm kind of stuck in the 80s. The older I get, the brighter the past seems, And I remember this happened to my grandma too. The good old days, we just kept stacking up the older she got. But she just loved the old days. And now that I'm old, I just look back, oh yeah, everything was great then, and everything is kind of crappy now. But, do you really think things are crappy now? No, I guess not. Well, here's the thing. Like even just the last couple years, where the world got turned upside down and like the transgender people are running the show and everything. Yeah. If you went back, like say we went back to, I don't know, Barack Obama days, there's so much we learned about the world and about good and evil or whatever. I don't know if I'd want to go back. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. No, I totally wouldn't want to go back. Why not? Well, I wouldn't want to go back to any period before we had this show. Yeah, no kidding. I wouldn't want to go back to a time before the show. Yeah, because then I'd just be working in a school or something. But nah, maybe not. Haha, you can be here, Uncle NANABOOZHOO. All right, I'll just be her uncle. I won't have to abduct her if I'm her uncle. Thank you. But tell her she's got to listen to me if I'm her uncle. I'm going to give her advice. You got to act like your ancestors. You got to be a traditional woman. Don't look to... who are some of the heroes of girls today? I wouldn't even begin to know. Who's that really gross lady who was on the Grammys and acted all gay? Oh, that fat... What's her name? Cardi B. Yeah, Cardi B. Don't be like Cardi B, whatever you do. Yeah. In fact, don't... Actually, be like your mom. Be like my mom, Jessica Wabuz. But it's tough to be a kid now because their heroes are such degenerates. Kizzy says, I wouldn't go back. Wouldn't go back, even if you were younger? Yeah, me either. I will practice this Sunday. You're going to practice this Sunday? Practice what? Ojibwe language and culture? Nah. Jessica says, they're like, this is why you have oral traditions and not written. Yeah, no kidding, huh? I don't trust written traditions. You want to remember how to write all these 20-letter words? Yeah. Here you can write... our language doesn't even use the whole English alphabet, And there's, multiple ways of spelling every word. And a lot of us don't know how to spell to begin with, so we always misspell it. But that's been kind of the talk around history these days. Everyone's talking about critical race theory. Oh, what are you critical of race theory? You racist. And then people who like it, like teachers, they go, some people don't want us teaching the true history. It's like, well, what have you been doing for the last 40 years? If that wasn't... Because this is my problem with critical race theory. They pretend, now we're telling the truth of history. The truth of history is black people are a bunch of victims who couldn't resist the patriarchy. White people are powerful, evil people. And Indians are a bunch of victims who all died from boarding schools. It's like, no, you guys are mixing up the true history. But what is the true history? Can you trust a textbook that said in 1492 Columbus sailed the ocean blue? You teachers are the worst at teaching history. That's why everybody thinks Thanksgiving and Columbus are on the same day. But so critical race theory is like, hey, we're just telling the truth. The truth of non-white victimhood and white patriarchy. There's a closed room of evil white men who are running a show. So I think the problem is our written history. A bunch of Freemasons, got together, wrote a textbook, and it keeps getting reprinted year after year with propaganda. My latest conspiracy for the last few months, some of you know this already, has been the impossible architecture. When they say, oh yeah, well, there was nothing here in the United States, in Canada. The Native Americans just sort of roamed the woods, not disturbing a thing. We lived like cavemen. And then, 1492, they brought over horses, metal, civilization. And they're like, yeah, this is the true history. It's like, shut up. What was the true history? Who knows? We don't know. How did all these buildings get built in 1850? 1850 to 1900, every building in every city in the world was, or in America was built, apparently. Where did all the bricks come from? Where did the glass come from? So our history is just a bunch of propaganda. Nobody knows what's going on. We get little glimpses when we learn Ojibwe. We go, okay, here's the language. Here's an oral tradition. Ojibwe people will tell us, and it gets passed down in families. They'll say, oh yeah, well, can't tell you what year it was, but we used to live out east, and we migrated here to the central, Mishike, Minnesota, central Turtle Island. We displaced the Dakota. Because they act like there's only one way of looking at history. Like, oh yeah, white man came across the sea. He brought us pain and misery. They have this one written history where the white man, relocated all the Indians. And it was a trail of tears. All this Hollywood stuff. And you go, okay, how come you're not teaching about how the Ojibwe, sent the Dakota on a trail of tears away from northern Minnesota? They say that Red Lake was named after a great battle where we killed so many Sioux people that the lake ran red with blood. It's like, that's not true. It can't be true. But I'm not going to go into the high school and ask some frumpy, Bachelor of Arts. Oh, I got a teacher's license. I'll teach you about what happened to your people. It's like, shut up. Are you going to trash teachers again? I'm getting close. You might not want to. Why not? Because how many teachers do we have watching this show right now? Oh, yeah. Because none of them are working right now. It's the middle of the summer. Nice profession. Oh, it's getting nice out. Don't work for three months. Don't need to educate children for 3 months. Oh, God. But yeah, maybe I shouldn't trash teachers. Oh, it's the hardest job in the world. La la. Hey, Brian's here. BOOZHOO, Brian. Brian's here, sweetie. Hey, BOOZHOO. Welcome to the show, Brian. The soul man is here. Jessica Boo says, Walter Plecker was a eugenicist. He divided everyone into the category of either black or white. Eugenicist. Does that mean where they want to kill everybody off? Eugenics? Yeah, you're either black or you're white. That's brilliant too. Well, what if you're both? What if you're neither? Jessica says, I wonder if he had something to do with the time period where everyone from Puerto Rico and Cuba was considered Negro by the U.S. government, regardless of actual ethnicity. Yeah, no kidding. But again, how would we know? You can't trust what's written. Well, maybe you can. I don't know. You probably can't. This is my problem with the Bible. Really? Yeah, I've been burned so much by the written word that it's hard just to go, well, I'm sure everything in the Bible's correct. I mean, I haven't thrown out the whole Bible like when I was a kid, but, I don't trust the editors. I haven't seen anything, I basically only read Genesis, but whenever I go to Genesis, I try to see if the modern editors of the Bible in like their, little notes in the bottom, try to squeeze in evolution or space into the biblical description of creation, And the church tells you, oh, you can trust the Bible. That's, that's the word of God. How do you know? I mean, I trust God, I guess. You guess? Yeah, I don't know. Can you trust God and be afraid of him at the same time? I've wondered about that. Like, how do you love somebody you're afraid of? Right. Like Muslims are always saying, love God, Love God with all your heart and mind and soul. Like, you can't just tell me to love somebody. That kind of happens naturally. I don't know what I'm talking about. Kizzy says, Jessica says, yeah, he denied black native affiliation with their nations. Yeah. Because the image we have of native tribes is that everyone's a full blood from one strain of native, I guess, one language group. And, movies never depict somebody with a big old afro in a mix. But I'm starting to think that it was probably way more mixed than we've been told. What is the history of Asian people in our country? High school teachers will tell you, oh, they migrated here to build the railroads. Really? Really? The Chinese came over and built all our railroads across the entire continent in 50 years and invented and then went back. I don't know. That sounds like nonsense too. I mean, I'm ignorant, but at least I'm not, stupid. Indeed, Indians, not African Americans. Kizzy says, it's documented. There are like tons of documents that nobody ever sees or that media and education won't talk about. Kind of like giants. There's documentation like photographs and news articles that were published back in the day. And Smithsonian Institute, again, a government institution we trust to like be able to teach our history and, preserve records. They take giant human bones, remains, fully intact giant skeletons, 15-foot, 20-foot tall skeletons, maybe even bigger. And then they put them in a back room, they lock it up or whatever, and we'll never see them again. Then they go and make fake dinosaur skeletons and hang them up in museums. Say, yeah, this is a Tyrannosaurus Rex. You see, children, back in the days of their grandfathers, during the time of, what's that guy's name? Darwin. Darwin was a big racist too. Really? Yeah. His book, The Evolution Theory of whatever, it had some sort of really racist subtitle, and I forget what it was now. Do you guys remember? But at the same time, when they rolled out evolution, they rolled out the dinosaur myth. And even in their story, they found a tooth in like Montana or somewhere. Just so happened to be the museums, the people who came up with the word, that's what it was, Sir Owen something, came up with the term dinosaur. And the theory, once upon a time there were monsters who roamed the earth millions of years before humans. And they all died off when a meteor hit the earth and it made the whole earth freeze. Okay. At that same time, they came up, their story was, I found a tooth. And this is clearly the tooth of a giant reptilian monster we'll call Tyrannosaurus Rex. And they built a Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton out of chicken bones, plaster of Paris, whatever, plastic. And they said, there you go, here's your Tyrannosaurus Rex. And then the people looked at it and they went, Okay, how come his arms and hands don't reach his mouth? He's got these little hands. He can barely. And they went, oh, I don't know. Scientists have proven this. It's proven. Here's a whole book, but you're never going to read it. And what about this one? A stegosaurus. How come it can't stand up? How come you have to have wires and stuff? It doesn't balance right like a real animal would. Ah, never mind that. Just trust us. This is proof that the Bible is incorrect. And so, oh, history. Thank you. I got to quit talking about education first thing in the morning. I'm still kind of crabby until I get another cup of coffee. You want me to go get you a cup of coffee? Nah, that's okay. I'm going to wait till after the show. Because I'll drink that coffee down, then I'll have to go to the bathroom immediately. Yeah, no kidding. Mino Giga Jabe. Good morning. Mino Giga Jabe. Kizzy says, why would they tell you that the actual renamed you over the years and you still remain in power? Why would they tell you that the actually renamed you over the years and still remain in power? Not sure what you mean by that. Oh, wait. It's because I'm reading it out of order. Jessica says, the thing about Indians is that being Indian has more to do with your culture and your community than your DNA. Yeah, no kidding. Then there are black Indians and there are white Indians too. Yeah, exactly. This whole idea of race is not, we can't let other people define race for us. What is your race? I'm an Indian. What makes you an Indian? Well, I have my ancestors apparently spoke a different language and culture and food and lived together and, so I'm an Indian. No, you're not. We have a piece of paper here. The government will tell you who the Indians are. Let's see. Enrollment numbers. How many Indians are there still alive? You know how that works too. Back in the days of the grandfathers, they came up with this thing called blood quantum. I know the adults probably know this, but the kids. You ever notice like somebody will say, when you say, oh yeah, I'm Ojibwe. They'll go, oh really? Are you enrolled? And what they mean is, are you enrolled in a tribe? Is your name on the rolls in the government office? It says, yep, these are all the Indians left. And it's based on blood quantum. So if both your parents are Indians, you're 100%. If one is Indian, one is white, you're 50%. And then, so now you're 50%, and you marry a white woman. Now your kids are quarter bloods. And then they marry a white woman, and their kids are eighth bloods. Or white. as the government cares to think of you. So pretty quickly down the line, because of blood quantum, they'll say, oh no, you're no longer an Indian. Sorry, whoever. Sorry, Bob Marley, you're not really a real black person. You're only a half black, and your grandchildren will be white. And I always thought that the blood quantum was kind of a brilliant way of just, who put it yesterday? They put it paper genocide. I thought that was good. Yeah, paper genocide. So, the great father in Washington, when we signed the treaties, we're like, okay, Indians will live here, we'll get these rights, we can fish here, and government will supply Indians with free health care, free education, a lot of stuff. But that's only for the real Indians. And they'll say, well, how can you tell who's a real Indian? And so, well, we'll keep track of your blood. And we'll register you. You'll be on this list. It'll be kind of like a concentration camp. And but then, so the idea is that eventually, a few generations later, there won't be any real Indians left. It'll just be descendants of Indians. And then they don't have to, do their part of the treaty. They can keep the land, but they don't have to recognize the people that they made the treaty with. And so pretty quickly, historically, it looks like, and this is where racism comes in. Historically, it looks like we're going to be defined out of existence. They're going to say, oh, you're no longer a real Indian because you don't speak your language. You got too many white people in your ancestry, or too many black people, or whatever. And so, yeah, we're going to keep all the land rights, but no, you do not get the scholarship. You're not Indian enough. Like, okay. I remember one time I had this friend, and she had moved back to the reservation. She grew up in the city, and she was from Red Lake. Or her family was from Red Lake, but she had never been to Red Lake until she moved back. And she kept on saying she was registered in Red Lake. Because people ask her, where are you from? Oh, I'm registered in Red Lake. And my Leech Lake friend goes, would you quit saying that? We're not registered, we're enrolled. The only thing that gets registered are dogs and sex offenders. Like, hikes. Yeah, you're not registered, you're enrolled. But quit being proud of being enrolled. That's just a government, your enrollment number is kind of like what Jews got on their arms, those tattoos in the concentration camp. That's the government keeping track of you like a dog or a sex offender. Yeah. Oh, be proud. And I'm proud to be Native American, where at least I've got an enrollment number. What else? Oh, I'm getting just behind. The chat's blowing up, sweetie. Can't you keep up? I don't think so. Why would they tell you that the actual... Wait. Both sides of my family are 100% Native American, and I have to get all the documents for them to correct my birth certificate. There you go. You can have... Because then, you're counting on the government and their stupid paperwork. This is what Indian people have to deal with. Why would they tell you... And then Jess Kizzy says, why would they tell you that they actually renamed you after the years and still remain in power? I'm not sure why they still remain in power. I don't know, because who's going to take them out? Kizzy says, indigenous to the land gives a voice to a voiceless people. Hey, that's a good way to think of it. Indigenous to the land. We're like, moose. Our ancestors are from this particular land. We didn't migrate. I mean, we migrated within the land, but Ojibwe people, we didn't apparently, I think we didn't build big ships and move eastward. They tell us we were too primitive to make ships like the Europeans at that time. I'm starting to wonder about that too. Anyway, indigenous to the land gives a voice to the voiceless people. They don't want us to connect the dots, but it's happening. Oh, you mean so-called African Americans are indigenous to this land? That would not be hard for me to believe. Because it's easy for me to believe that they lied about the entire slavery narrative. And again, back on critical race theory. They're like, hey, dumb parents, don't you tell us how to teach your children. They have to know that black people are these victims, these helpless victims of the mighty white Europeans, and we enslave them in chains. And then they'll even go further and say, and the slaves, they built this country. It's like, really? What about all the Italian masons? What about all the immigrants who were construction workers? And what about the Chinese, if they did build the railroads, which I doubt? But, so critical race theory is all like, slaves built this country. It's like, even if your dumb story is correct, which I doubt, slaves built the t-shirt industry. You know, that the slaves weren't up there, you know, in New York City building. They were working in the fields of cotton, you know. It's cotton picking. I'm going out of my cotton picking mind, trying to sort through the dumb propaganda that high school teachers lay out. Tan shi mon ami. Tan shi mon ami. Don't know what Res Métis is saying, but I'm happy to see you, Res. How's it going? Res Métis back. BOOZHOO, Res. I get the impression of Res Métis from Turtle Mountain, but I guess he or she wouldn't have to be. I don't want to say they because that's a dumb pronoun game. Hoka hey. Kizzy. Oh, that was you saying paper gen. It was Kizzy who coined the term paper genocide. I'm going to start using that. Because enrollment's a paper genocide. Education's a paper genocide. Textbooks are a paper genocide. Rez says, how are you, my friend? Tanshi mon ami. Boomai. Oh, that's Métis for good morning. Hoa. Tanshi mon ami. Hey, sweetie. Tanshi mon ami. Oh, wait. Tanshi mon ami. Boomai. Tanshi mon ami. Boomai, sweetie. Tanshi mon ami. Boomai. Today's Métis phrase of the day. Tanshi mon ami. Boomai. Is that Boomai? I think. That's cool. We should make this the Métis podcast. Except you don't know any Métis. It's close to Ojibwe. Yeah. So, Brian Soul says, great topic yesterday and today, BOOZHOO. Oh, thank you so much. Okay. Hey. Yeah, last night we went back on. We were going to see if we would get more viewers if we did in the evening, and I think we did, actually. Yeah, but I like the morning show. I do, too. Because what am I going to do if I don't do the show in the morning? I don't know, exercise? Yeah, probably. Jessica says, slavery definitely happened. Yeah, I agree. Probably did. But the narrative on that is always focused on African slaves. Mm-hmm. Nobody talks about Indian slaves, and then nobody talks about Indian or black slave owners. Yeah, critical race theory is critical only of white Europeans. You know, I guess the first legal slave purchase was from a black man to a black man of a black man. And there are, again, the documents. And I know only of the Cherokee, but I assume it was, more of a common practice. But apparently the Trail of Tears, when the Cherokee had to pack up their stuff and leave, and we all were told, oh, they're victims of white supremacy too. Well, the white supremacist patriarchy went into Cherokee territory and told them, okay, get off these plantations that you own. Take your European-style clothing and your slaves and get out of here. And that was the Trail of Tears. The tears of the Cherokee and their slaves. If that's even true. Because that's the problem with liars. Once you find out somebody lied and then they tell you another, okay, this is the truth, then you have to go, well, how do I know this is the truth? This could be a lie too. It's kind of like that book, Heaven is Real. Yeah. Remember how we were talking about Heaven is Real? That little kid who died and saw all the stuff in heaven and came back and told his parents, yeah, I met Jesus. I saw my sister who died in childbirth. All these crazy things. Well, years later, he grows up, and the story is he came and said, no, I lied about all that. I just made that up. And then you have to ask yourself, well, how can I believe you now? If a liar admits to being a liar, he's still a liar. So can I believe you when you say you lied about it? It's impossible to know once a liar And a liar loses all credibility even when he comes clean because you can't trust him. So I think it's just as likely that heaven is real, is actually real, and that the kid who says he lied about it is actually lying. I don't know why, but Darwin theory supports eugenics. Yeah. Well, Bill Gates supports eugenics. This idea that the Earth is overpopulated and, all this gloom and doom, humans bad, Earth good, humans destroying the Earth, we should kill off ourselves to save the Earth. Like, what a crappy attitude. But, yeah. Oh, yes, I suppose Darwin would have, because he's all about, survival of the fittest. And things evolve to adapt to survive. You might have been born a fish, but to adapt, you died a mammal. It's like, the whole theory is dumb. Yes, so-called African Americans, that's a misnomer. They reclassified Indians to be black, mulatto, African American, etc. Oh, yeah, okay. So there were the indigenous people of North America. And there were some that they now reclassified. Okay, these indigenous people are black. These ones are Mexican. These ones are mixed blood. These ones are, whatever. And then we'll also divide them by language. These ones are the Ojibwe speaking. These are the Dakota speaking, and so on. Yeah. Yeah, it's a subtle trick. People forget that it was actually the Democrats, liberals, who didn't want to give up slavery. Apparently, if this is true, who knows? Apparently, Abraham Lincoln, that tall gay guy with the stovetop, whatever it's called, that tall hat and the gay beard, he was a Republican. I saw this meme once where it said, Democrats haven't been this mad since we made them give up their slaves. I think it was when Trump won. But so the liberals are secretly super racist. But they do it by pretending to be an ally. We want to help the poor, unfortunate descendants of slaves, the African Americans. And they perpetuate this story that makes black people feel like they come from an ancestry of slaves. I mean, talk about not respecting your ancestors. I mean, slaves are real, but maybe they're just enslaved indigenous people who looked like what we think of African Americans. I don't know. Who knows? Who the heck knows? I don't. I don't either, sweetie. Turtle Mountain is my land. How could you tell? Oh, good. Res Métis is from Turtle Mountain. And he wants to know how I could tell. Well, because he's Métis. Yeah, because her name is Res and Métis. So I just thought, what is the reservation that speaks Métis? Or Mitchif? Mischief? So it's just kind of a wild shot in the dark. Jessica says, the U.S. District Court ruled in 2017 that descendants of Cherokee slaves have full rights to be included in the Cherokee Nation. Isn't that crazy how the U.S. government has to... Or no, it's not crazy. Yeah, U.S. government makes the ruling, you can have full Cherokee citizenship. Because the Cherokee Nation isn't a sovereign nation. None of us are. It's the U.S. government defining, that's a pleasantry they give to us. Oh, you're a sovereign nation. And Indians, march around. We're sovereign. This is the Indian nation. Unless you want to go outside of what the U.S. government says. You can see it with these pipelines, how frustrated people are. Like, hey, this is Indian land. No, you can't do this. And the U.S. government goes, yeah, we kind of drew a little box on a map and said, yeah, this will be White Earth or whatever. This will be Leech Lake. But no, it's still all our land. Here, shut up. Here's some gambling chips. Here's some booze and here's a per cap. And people go, okay, whatever. Oh, we're a sovereign nation. I heard this speaking about nations. What's that? They're saying, you know how they're talking about the border a lot nowadays? And they go, a border, the nation is just a land. It's just those boundaries, that's just an abstract, the United States is not its people. It's the, this border. And so if you can get in here, now you are an American too. But then they go, well, what about, the, Leech Lake Band of Ojibwe Nation? Are they a nation? Are the Ojibways a nation unto themselves? Oh, yeah, they are. But are they a nation even outside of the reservation? Oh, yes, of course. Because the nation of Ojibwe does not depend on them living there. You're still part of the Ojibwe nation. No matter, you can live in China and be a member of the Ojibwe nation. But when it comes to being American, it's like, no, it's just a border. Come on in. Now you can have all the rights. Quit acting like America is a nation unto itself. It's not its people. We're too diverse. So, yeah. I think that serves some evil purpose. Divide and conquer. That's how they do it. Divide and conquer. Oh, are you from the South? Oh, no. You got a funny accent. You're not of my people. So I don't care what happens in California. That is kind of happening to me. Really? Yeah. I mean, I'm ashamed of myself, but I start to not identify with people from like California or Portland or whatever. But they are Americans. Yeah, that's just it. Come on, people now. Smile on your brother. Come on, people now. Smile on your brother. Everybody get together. Come on, love one another right now. Hey, quit telling me how to live. Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Smile on my brother. You smile on my brother. I don't know what I'm doing. La, 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 la. Mischief. Funny, that's what my dad calls us, Métis. The mischief. They get into all kinds of mischief up there in Métis territory. What do you think, sweetie? Should I come up and say hi to the BOOZHOO crew? Yeah, you wanna? You guys wanna talk to him? I'm too crabby. You get a much sunnier disposition than me. If I talk much more, I'm just gonna trash high school teachers and the news and history books. Hey, why don't you play that song first? Oh, yeah. Okay, here's a song. I'm going to let Natasha come up. But before that, here's a song by a band called Fleetwood Mac. Oh, and before I go, when we do cover songs on this channel, like yesterday, I think you sang that Coldplay song. Yeah, I sang "But You Try So Hard It Could Fix You." Right. So yesterday, Natasha sang "Fix You" by Coldplay, and we don't get a copyright strike. That's fine. But any advertising money we get from that, which is just like pennies, that goes to the record company. So we don't get any money when we do a cover song. Don't care. Still going to do the cover song. But if you'd like to support the show, we have links in the description. You can order a book by Michael Lyons. It'll teach Ojibwe language. Huh. That's right. And we also have a Patreon page where you can sign up to support us monthly. And if you do that, we'll send you a signed copy of one of Michael's books. And we also have a Patreon, or what's it called? PayPal Our pal, you can pay if you'd like to give us a little tip, a little $5 for some coffee. Yeah. And we also have super chats, which I almost don't want to ask you guys to give because, I don't know, I'm always so humbled when somebody goes, there you go. You know, but we also have super chats. You can support us if you like. Don't feel any pressure to do so. You should order one of Michael's books, though. Those are pretty good. But this is a song that is just one of my favorite songs, and it's called Landslide. And up next, Natasha. GOFUNDME, Menoa. I don't know. What do you think? How about Landslide? Landslide? Yeah, okay. Took my love and I took it down. Climbed a mountain and I turned around. And I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills till the landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can a child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tide? Can I sail through the season of my mind? Well, I've been afraid of changing 'cause I've built my life around you, weenie shame. But time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too. I've been afraid of changing 'cause I lived my life around you. But time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too. Oh, I'm getting older too. Take my love, take it down. Climb a mountain, I turn around. And if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, landslide, bring it down. If you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, well, the landslide will bring it. Landslide will bring it down. Oh, sweetie, that was beautiful. Thanks, sweetie Machine. Hey, BOOZHOO. To the show. I love that song so much, it makes me want to cry. Yeah, it's a pretty good song, huh? How can you love something and it makes you want to cry? I don't even understand my emotions anymore. Hey everybody, BOOZHOO! How you doing? Natasha and Additional Cause. Yeah. Landslide'll bring us down. And if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills. Yeah. So what's going on? Talking about all kinds of crazy stuff. Hey, sweetie.
Yeah,
You got a phone call.
I do. I wonder who that could be. Caller, you're on the air. Welcome to BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO.
Yes, hello there. It is I, Migazy.
Well, hi, Migazy. How are you?
I'm doing quite well indeed, I'd have to say.
Oh, that's great. Ladies and gentlemen, the Eagle, Migazy. So welcome to the show. I'm so happy to have you on here. We haven't seen you in a while.
Yes, well, I've been quite busy, it was the 4th of July, and so I had plenty of, public appearances to make, and, everyone wants a little piece of Migazy during the 4th of July.
Oh, yeah, because you symbolize, like America or whatever.
Yes, I suppose I do. But Natasha.
Yeah?
I also symbolize the spiritual walk of the Anishinaabe.
Yeah, you kind of do, huh? Some people think you symbolize God himself.
Oh, that's preposterous. I'm not God. I'm just God's helper.
Yeah, huh? So what can I do for you today?
Well, I was wondering if I could teach the Ojibwe word of the day.
Well, I don't know if we haven't gotten around to it much. We got Neo-Geeshagud, the 4th day.
Yes, Neo-Geeshagud, the 4th day. That is the Thursday is what we call it.
And then we also did the, just a good morning. Mino-Giga-Shabe.
Mino-Giga-Shabe. Yes, Mino-Giga-Shabe, Natasha. It's quite a fine word you've used to teach the people the language. I have to say, I do appreciate that.
Okay. I don't know. What else?
Well, yesterday you were speaking about the Sweat Lodge ceremony. I wonder if I might teach the word for Sweat Lodge once again.
Oh, sure. In fact, I think I still have the text here. Madhu Diswan, Sweat Lodge.
Yes, the Madhu Diswan, the Sweat Lodge. Lots of times when people go into a sweat lodge, I'll fly by and just kind of keep my eye on them.
Do you really?
Yes, that's one of my jobs, I am I sometimes will gather up the prayers of the people and bring them right to Gitchi Manadu.
Is that right?
Yes, that's right. That is why you must always put out some tobacco when you see me.
Oh, yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know what Migazy's talking about, some people think when they see an eagle, they go, oh, look, it's Gitchi Manadu. Because they'll put out some tobacco and they'll say, hey, miigwech Gitchi Manadu. But you're saying you're not Gitchi Manadu?
No, that's preposterous. Of course not. I am Migazy. Migazy Nindijinakaz. Migazy is my name. Gitchi Manadu is someone else completely. I just carry the prayers.
Oh, so you carry the prayers to Gitchi Manadu. Oh, so when people say miigwech Gitchi Manadu, they're thinking God, but not you necessarily.
No. If they want to thank me, they should say, miigwech Migazy.
Miigwech Migazy. Well, Migazy, would you pass along a prayer for me?
Well, I'd be happy to.
Tell the Great Spirit, miigwech for the BOOZHOO crew.
Oh, the BOOZHOO crew, they're a fine group of misfits.
Yeah, huh? Bunch of misfits here. Yeah, Madhu Diswan. No, Madhu Diswan. I can't even say it. Madhu Diswan, a sweat lodge. And I think I have a picture of a sweat lodge here. Should I show it?
Yeah, I suppose you could. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to go first.
Oh, okay. Anything else I can do for you before you leave?
No, I just wanted to tell you you're doing a fine job. It's a top-notch job, if you will.
Yeah, okay. Well, thanks for calling whenever you like.
Yes, indeed. Gigawabamin Minawa.
Gigawabamin Minawa, Migazy. Wow, Migazy.
Yeah, we don't hear from him much.
Yeah, huh? But Madhu Diswan, a sweat lodge. And, sweetie, you want to teleport me out to the sweat lodge one more time? I just want to show him what it looks like.
Yeah, sure. Hang on.
I'm going to teleport out to the sweat lodge area.
Okay. 1 to teleport to a sweat lodge. Hello, it's NANABOOZHOO.
Hi, sweetie, it's Natasha.
Oh, hi. Did you make it out there okay?
Yep, got here in one piece. I'm standing in front of the sweat lodge now.
Oh, how's it look?
Pretty much like I did yesterday. Nobody's out here, though. It's just me.
Oh, how's the weather out there?
You know, it's actually a little chilly. And I don't want to complain because I'm so happy it's not so hot. But my dude, this one, a sweat lodge. And this is kind of like our church. You know, I was just, oh, sorry, sweetie. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay, I'm going to talk to the BOOZHOO crew for a little bit. I'll call you when I need you to pick me up.
Okay, sweetie. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, can you go up and in? Bloop. So yeah, this is my dude, this one. My dude, this one. And it's called a sweat lodge. And this is where people come to pray and to sing and to purify. And yesterday, NanaBOOZHOO explained a little bit about what goes on in sweat lodges. But I kind of wanted to talk about Catholicism. I'm not a Catholic. I have some friends who are Catholics. And they're really good, really smart people. And they're like, man, Catholicism's the best. You should become a Catholic. Come over. We got the best parties. You can still drink and smoke if you're a Catholic, you know. But I can't get with it. I don't understand the contradiction of what Jesus said and what Catholicism seems to be about. Like, you know, Jesus talked about how it's really hard for a rich man to get into heaven. You know, Jesus was all about, don't worry about your money, God will provide, you know, but to be humble, you know. And Anishinaabe people, this is very humble. It doesn't cost much. You know, we're not all fancy. But you go over to the Vatican, number one, the Roman Catholic Church owns the most land in the world. They're super, 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 super rich. And Jesus said, beware of being rich. It's, you know, it'll be easier for a camel to get through the eye of a needle. It's like, okay, so they do just the opposite, but we don't. And then he says, call no other man father. And so every Catholic priest you meet, hey, what's your name? Just call me father. Why don't I call you God? So they say, you know, don't have a bunch of money. Don't call anyone father. Be fruitful and multiply. Be fruitful. Have babies. Get out there and have some babies. Once again, Anishinaabe people, we love babies. You know, have you ever met, what do they call an Anishinaabe woman who has no children by 30? Barren. You know, I'm sure she's tried. I've never met a 30-year-old woman who's never had a baby. Who's Anishinaabe. We love our babies. We're fruitful. We multiply. You know, we're like, us and the Mexicans are the last ones to have like 15 kids or whatever. So, but then you go to Catholics and you go, hey, Father, in your big palace here, how many kids do you have? None. We're not allowed to have kids or even date girls. You're like, what? That seems kind of goofy. But, and then they'll say, okay, before you get married, Catholics, come talk to me. A guy who calls himself your father, even though I'm not your dad, who's never had a girlfriend or a baby or a wife, I'm going to give you counseling on how to be a good dad, and a good husband, and a good wife. Oh, okay, that sounds straight. Why not? Then what else? No, of course, all the Satanism. Oh, how about this? This is another one I've been thinking about lately. What's up with the crucifix everywhere? Did they say don't make graven images of me? Well, Catholics are all carrying around staffs with a picture of Jesus dying. Or, hey, look, I got a beautiful cross on my necklace. Isn't it beautiful? That's because I love Jesus so much. It's like, you know, if I love somebody so much and they were like, hey, would you like a statue of them dying or being tortured? I'd be like, no, thank you. The Christian symbol of Jesus should be the stone being moved away from the tomb. Because it would be about resurrection. But nope. The Catholics are all about him getting killed. You know, him bleeding to death. Being in pain. It's like, what? None of that sounds right to me anymore. So I'm sorry, awesome friends of mine and family who are Catholics. I can't get with it. I think I'm just going to go into the Madoo this one and talk to Gitchy Manadoo. Maybe Migazy will send my prayers up. Madoo this one. Sweat Lodge. Go to the Sweat Lodge and pray. Gitchy Manadoo will listen. Go in there and sweat out your sins. Sweat out all that bad juju. The mungy manadoogs. Sweat out those bad spirits. La la la. Anyway, but do this one. Sweat Lodge. And this has been your Ojibwe word of the day. Alright. There's a lot of mosquitoes out here too. Anything else I want to trash about Catholicism? Without bringing up the obvious thing that everyone associates with Catholics. Or at least Catholic priests. Wanna be starting something, got to be starting something, wanna be starting something, la 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 la. Alright.
Okay, BOOZHOO, hello.
Hi, NANABOOZHOO, it's me, Natasha.
Oh, hello, sweetie. Are you ready for me to pick you up?
Would you mind?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna teleport back to the house.
Locking in on your coordinates. All right, are you ready, sweetie?
Yep.
Okay, for God's sakes, don't move.
What do you mean?
Oh, you're back.
What do you mean, don't move?
Well, you know, I don't want to teleport just part of you.
Yeah, that'd be bad. Oh, let me get rid of this. Well, there you go, folks. I think that's all the time we have for today. Did you want to add anything before we sign out?
No, that's pretty good.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Miigwech Bizandawieg. Thank you for listening. Miigwech Ganawabieg. Thank you for watching. BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am Natasha. Over here,
Yeah.
NANABOOZHOO.
BOOZHOO, Gigawabamin Minoa. Miigwech for watching. Miigwech Kanawabi Egg.
And over here is Michael Lyons. Don't forget to buy a book if you'd like one. And hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button. Share it with your friends. Do whatever you like. Or don't. I don't care. And I will see you again. Gigawabamin. Minowa. Oh, sweetie.
You got it.
What?
That's not working. I'm trying to teleport you away, but it won't work. Oh, there it goes.